Hi everybody, it's Miss Austin and I'm going to be going over the sequence review in Desmos to prepare for your quick sequence check-ins that you're going to be taking on Performance Matters. So the first one says identify all the terms of the sequence defined by the following equation. Select all that apply. So let's look at this rule here. This is a recursive rule because it's only got, or excuse me, an explicit rule says f of n equals 3 plus n minus 1 times 5. Now, you can write rules in all different sorts of ways. You could also rewrite this as 3 plus, you can put the 5 in front of the n minus 1. If that helped you make more sense. And why do they have the 5 in parentheses? Just to make, I don't know, just notation. So this, to find out which one of these below are terms of the sequence, we're just going to plug numbers in. If I plug the number 1 in there, 1 minus 1 is 0, 0 times 5 is 0, and 0 plus 3 is 3. Is 3 a term? Yes, it is. Okay, now let's plug a 2 in there. 2 minus 1 is 1. 5 times 1 is 5. 5 plus 3 is 8. I'm also going to start recording what I'm getting. I got 3, and then I got 8. We might think we know what's going on, but let's try one more. Let's put a 3 in there now. I put a 3 in there. 3 minus 1 is 2. 2 times 5 is 10. And 10 plus 3 is 13. So now we could keep plugging numbers in, or we could see if we understand the sequence now. It's the first term is 3, and it looks like we're jumping up by 5 every time. So let's go see if there's any others. Would 5 make sense? No. Would 15 make sense? No, because the next term after this is going to be 5 more, which would be 18. Now, would -2 if I went 5 back? Technically it would, but with sequences, we're considering this to be the first term with the number 1. Okay, so there we go. We've got 3, 8, 13, and 18. All right, next slide. All right, here we go. Sorry, that took me forever. Number 2, consider the sequence given in recursive form. And then it says choose the correct explicit equation for n is greater than or equal to 1. So let's go back and get my pen. All right, so this says the first term is 4, okay? And then it says after that, to find the next term, you take 2 times, remember this f of n minus 1 means previous term, the one before it. So to find this one, I go 2 times the one before it, that'd be 8. To get the next one, I take 2 times the one before it, which would be 16. Okay, now we can see what the sequence is. We can do one more if we want to. Okay, now how do we write the explicit rule? And they're calling this the first term. Okay, so remember an explicit rule, and these notes we took during class. So the first term is 4 plus, oops, I'm multiplying, sorry, times, what am I doing each time? 2. Now, if I put an n here, because so far, if I look over here, I know it's 4 times 2. I'm multiplying by 2 each time. So the only 2 that make sense are this one maybe, and this one. Because the first one and the third one, they say 4 plus 2. We're not adding 2 each time, we're multiplying. So do I have an n for the exponent or an n minus 1? Well, let's think about this. I want the first term to be 4. If I leave it just as n, and if I put a 1 in there, that'd be 4 times 2 to the first, which would be 4 times 2, which would make the first term 8. That's not what I want. I want the first term to be 4. So that's why you tell it to raise 2 to the n minus 1 power, because you don't want it to multiply by 2 the first time. So now take a look. So this didn't work. It's not what we wanted. We want 4 to be our first term. If I put a 1 in here now, 1 minus 1 is 0. So now I get 4 times 2 to the 0 power. 2 to the 0 power is 1, and 4 times 1 is 4. This is what I wanted. Okay, so we've got the third selection right here. All right. Next screen. Got to clear. Which sequence is generated by the rule 5n minus 1, where n represents the position of a term in the sequence? So basically, we just have to plug numbers in again. So I'm going to write this down, 5n minus 1. So if I put a 1 in for the first term, 5 times 1 minus 1. That's 5 minus 1, which is 4. Okay, now I know that this isn't right and this isn't right. Now, if I want which one's right, is it 4, 9, 14, 19, 24, 4, 8, 12? Okay, now you actually can tell based on what the rule says what it is, and I'll explain that in a minute. But you can also just plug a number in. Let's plug 2 in now. Ready? 5. Now we're going to plug a 2 right there. So 5 times 2 minus 1, that'd be 10 minus 9, which is, or sorry, whoopsie, that'd be 10 minus 1, which is 9. So now I can see the second term is 9, right? So it's going up by 5 each time, which, look, you can see 5n. Okay, so we've got 4, 9, 14, 24. All right, miss 19. Okay. When Han signs up for a video streaming service, the first month is reduced at $5 and then it is $10 each additional month. Which of the following expressions represents the total cost in dollars for n number of months for the video streaming service? All right, so let's just kind of write down what happens. So the first month, month 1, he pays $5. And then after that, it says it's 10 more. So the next month, he is now paid 5 plus 10, $15. And then the next month, he's paid 10 more, so it's $25. And then the next month, he pays 10 more. Okay, so starting with $5 the first month, and then it goes up 10 every month. Now, which one of these would generate that? And these are all explicit rules, right? They don't tell you the first term. So one strategy is you could just plug numbers in until you find the one that works. I mean, we can start with 15n. If I put a 1 right here, 15 times 1 is 15. Is that the first term of this sequence? No. We could try this one. 5 plus 10 times the number of months. If I put a 1 in here for the first month, 10 times 1 is 10. 10 plus 5 makes 15. Is that what I want for the first month? No. All right, what about the next one? If I put a 1 in here, that makes 2. 2 times 10 is 20. 20 plus 5, that would make 25 for the first term. No. And then we only really have 1 left, so it's got to be right. But let's understand what the rule says. It says starting with the number 5, I want you to add 10 every time. But do it 1 less time because I don't want you to add 10 the first month. I need it to stay for 5. If you put a 1 in there, 1 minus 1 is 0, 0 times 10 is 0, and you get 5. Now, if you put a 2 in there, 2 minus 1 is 1, 1 times 10 is 10, 10 plus 5 is 15. Okay? So when you take your performance matters tomorrow, the key to a lot of these is, just plugging numbers in for n, writing the sequence out, seeing what you have, and testing things. I hope this helps, and I will see you soon.